Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're talking about the Cleveland Browns and trying to figure out what's wrong with them. They looked like AFC contenders coming into the season, but are now struggling at 4-4 with the offense in particular looking out of sorts. Make sure to like the video for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. It helps me out a lot. So the Cleveland Browns lost at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers 15-10 and now are 4-4 halfway through the NFL season. The defense has been a bit up and down this season, but played well enough against the Steelers, holding them to just 15 points, but the real story is, as you guessed, the Browns' offense. In 8 games, this is the 5th time that they've been held to 14 points or less. Yes, we've heard about Baker Mayfield and his injuries, but that's really not the entire story. The offense has been plagued by drops, bad play calls, and just underperforming in general. They have had to deal with injuries through the season with various players, but I wouldn't say that that's what's been exactly holding them back as a whole. Against the Steelers, Baker Mayfield completed 64% of his passes for 225 yards with no touchdowns and no picks. They actually got back Nick Chubb in the ground game, as well as Dearness Johnson, who is extremely talented. We saw how good he did on Thursday Night Football against the Denver Broncos. I mean, he's a really good running back, and for a third stringer, I think he's one of the best in the league. But the Browns ran the football okay overall in this game, but were just not able to convert enough on 3rd and 4th downs, enough when it mattered most. The offense can't find any consistency, and it's hurting the entire team. And of course, the whole Odell Beckham Jr. experiment just continues to be a complete failure. Why this is, I have absolutely no idea. Beckham is so talented, and whenever they traded for him, I thought it was going to be shoe-in. Every year he'd be a Pro Bowler. I thought Baker Mayfield would make him his #1 target, and it was going to be an awesome connection for years to come. But he and Baker Mayfield have just never been able to get into an actual rhythm. I mean, so far this year, he only has 17 receptions for 232 yards and 1 touchdown through 6 games. Now, for me personally, Browns fans, you might not like this, but I think the Browns should move on from Odell Beckham Jr. and try to get more of a possession-focused receiver or someone that just fits Baker Mayfield's play style a little bit more. Odell Beckham Jr. needs to be in a pass-heavy system, so I don't think it was ever really meant to work out. If we actually looked at the schemes and looked at the way he plays, the way both of them play, I think we probably could have been able to guess a long time ago that this wasn't going to work out, but even if you had done that, I think it's worse than anyone could have ever predicted. And of course, Odell Beckham Jr. missed an entire season, and I'm sure that set him back, but even before he got injured, they didn't really have any chemistry, and now that he's back healthy, they still don't look like they have any chemistry. And of course, it's hard to blame any one person on the Browns for why they're underperforming, but maybe it's just that. Maybe it's simply they're not disciplined and are just not playing with a sense of urgency. Sometimes the biggest problem on a football team really is just the fact that they're just not into it. They're just not performing up to their abilities. And again, I don't really know what it is. I mean, it's basically the same team from last year. They just aren't performing well. They aren't showing up to their big games. It just seems like they're missing something. And if any of you know, let me know down in the comments below what it is. I mean, I can't put my finger on it. I mean, I made this video mostly to hear what you guys have to say in the comments because I don't know what's wrong with the Browns and I don't know how to fix them. A lot of teams have been known to have down years right after having a great year, and maybe that will be the case for the 2021 NFL season for the Browns. I mean, they had a historic year last year, winning a playoff game. It was amazing. They were disappointed in the playoffs when they lost to the Chiefs and their backup quarterback, but still, it was a great year, and I thought, like many others, they would build off of it and maybe go further this year. I think the NFL is a lot more fun when the Browns are good, and I'm really hoping they can figure things out and have a better second half of the season and make it back to the playoffs, because right now their playoff lives are in jeopardy at 4-4. The AFC is extremely competitive, although as you know, as of this video, the Tennessee Titans are losing Derrick Henry for the remainder of the season, so maybe that gives some room for the Browns to try to get back in there, but I just don't know. Let me know down in the comments below what you think the actual root cause of their performance is so far, why they're performing like this, and whether or not you think the Browns can turn it around in time. I like Baker Mayfield, but after all of these seasons, I still can't decide if he's worth a top tier contract or not. Is he a top 10, top 15 quarterback, or is he just average? Like I said, I'm a fan of Baker Mayfield. I like watching him play. I just can't tell because sometimes he has really good weeks and sometimes he has really bad weeks. And then some weeks he's just really mediocre. I mean, I don't know what to think about Baker Mayfield. He has a fantastic running game, and as everyone knows who watches the Browns, they're definitely at their best when they're running the football well and when they're a run-focused team. So, you know, that could take something away from Baker Mayfield. Maybe he can't get into the rhythm because they're more of a run-focused team. But I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, they have to fix it somehow. I mean, they're running out of time. It's basically the halfway point of the season. They need to figure something out, and they need to figure it out quick. But I think we're going to find out pretty soon if they will or not, because the Browns have to play at Cincinnati and at New England their next 2 games, and also have the Ravens twice, the Raiders, Packers, and rematches with the Bengals and Steelers. I mean, it's a very tough remaining schedule for the Browns, and they're gonna have to get their offense rolling if they still want to make the playoffs. I mean, it should be fun to see what they do. Last season's playoff run by the Cleveland Browns, like I said, was a pleasant surprise, and it made the playoffs way more fun, way more interesting and exciting, and I hope they can make it back because it's fun to see those old brown uniforms playing in the cold weather in the playoffs. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like I've said before, I'm making 4 videos a week now, so hit that notification bell to stay up to date each and every time I upload. As always, everyone, I'll see you in the next one.